All right, I started recording.
Shut up.
I did. I hit it.
Ah,
I know.
really?
You're on the spot now.
It's already time?
It's happening.
It already started?
I went from 0 to 100 real quick. Let's do it.
Welcome to Opinion Havers, a movie podcast for people who pay their debts. I'm Cody.
And I'm Tywin. Tyler. Yeah.
Tywin Lannister.
What's the Spanish mobster's name?
You're asking me what anyone's name... Okay, I know two names from this movie. James Bond, Moneypenny. By the way, we watched on Her Majesty's Secret Service more Bond. We're still watching these Bond. We're not even close. We're not even close to halfway even.
Nope.
Why did we start this?
Because you didn't want to do Transformers.
Incorrect. They're getting less and less fun. I can feel it. I can feel the magic's going to leave in any one of these movies. The magic's going to be gone. It's going to be less campy. I'm going to hate it.
Yeah. But then it's going to be Pierce Brosnan, and Bailey's going to like it.
Maybe.
She loves Brosnan. Every girl likes a good Brosnan in their face.
Love the bras, dude. Oh, man. There's a lot to unpack.
Is there?
There's a lot to say. There's a lot to do. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm going to pull my thing out here.
I'm Cody.
You already said you...
Dang it. I did?
Yeah, we already did that. You're falling apart at the seams, man.
I know. All right, you want me to rant at you?
You know what? Do it, you coward.
Okay, just wait for the second hand's gonna go around.
How long are the rants?
5 minutes. Cinco. Whatever, some other language. Okay, Tyler, here's the thing. I thought at the beginning of this movie there was no theme song, and I was furious. And then there was a theme song, and they were all kind of shadow nipples, and I was like, well, there we go, redemption. They did it. They're doing the Bond thing, right? There was a theme song in this movie, wasn't there? Maybe there wasn't. I don't know. Here's the thing about the action in this one. They're doing fast cuts, and they're speeding up time a lot, and it is very noticeable. Like, you see Bond, where normally two people wrestling, and they're kind of jostling a little bit, and instead of just, like, zipping back and forth, like, wiggling around. It's amazing. I love it. This Bond, let me tell you, his name is something. I forget what it is. Peter Jeffrey. No one cares. No one knows. No one cares what his name is. He's handsomer, okay? He's got a butt chin, he's got a mole, and he looks better than Sean Connery. I don't know how he does it, but he do. And yeah, I'm impressed. Once again, he's fighting a large black man. Kind of looks like an O.J. Simpson kind of build, like a big boy. He's a big boy. And the black guy, he moans. I don't think he talks. I remember at least in the fight, and then also in the car, Bond says something to him, and then goes, and I was like, that's a choice. That's the way to go. In this movie, we encounter the best kind of mob boss. He's a Spanish mob boss, and his thing is that, his daughter is like either friends with, or enemies with, or lovers with James Bond. But B, he's the kind of mob boss who wears a carnation on his shirt, and he tells sad love stories while he's doing his mob business, and that made me terribly happy. He also, like, what is this? He sell his daughter to James Bond. He offers his daughter to James Bond as like for doing some work or something. He was like, "Hey, do this job for me. You can marry one of my daughters. I don't know. Sounds good to me." Which is pretty cool. They're talking about £1 million of gold, and I have a question. Is it £1 million weight of gold, or is it £1 million sterling worth of gold? Never really got the answer, I never got a satisfying answer. I just wanted to know if you're doing a British movie, you can't just say 1,000 pounds of gold, and I get confused. I'm sitting here and I still don't know. So there's a red leather door in this movie. I think it might be in what's the important guy? M? Probably M. His office. And I wanted it. I wanted a red leather door for my life. This movie is the best Bond movie because he does the hat trick, okay? You remember how they skipped it in the last movie where they showed him throwing a hat, then they showed the hat landing. They cut away. This one, he does it. And I know he did it on the first take. How do I know? Because I know you can sense it. And they did it. And, my goodness. This is best Bond too because he appreciates Moneypenny. He's out here flirting with her. They've got the best banter. Not that he didn't flirt before. They had the best. You felt like he meant it. You were like, yeah, Moneypenny will make you happy. And spoiler, she won't die. She never dies. She can't die. She is a robot. Robots can't die. So a lot of more lip audio not matching, and it's still here. It's a staple of the series. If they ever take it away, I will throw a fit. In like the continued sexual escalation of these movies, there's like a Playboy centerfold that's on screen for like half a second, and it's just like naked ladies. How did they do that? How are they getting away with this kind of stuff? I know it's like before there was like a PG-13 movie, but like you can't even put that in a PG-13 movie today. What were they doing? Whose palms were they greasing? How much did they pay to have that just like slide? I don't understand. Do you? No one does. There's a man named Gunta. You know Gunta? And they're like, Gunta will take you where you need to go. Don't go with that man. If his name is Gunta and you're in the middle of a ski lodge in the middle of nowhere that's secret and weird, like you just don't go there. Okay, so he meets a bunch of women from all around the world that are here for allergy treatment. It just looked like Spice Girls, right? It looked like Spice Girls expanded universe. That's what I got out of it. And there was a dorky British one. There was like an Asian one. There was an African one. There was like a groovy American one. They were all over the place. And I kid you not, the Asian one was allergic to rice. Did you see that? They're like, oh, everyone's got different diet. And he's like, this one here is allergic to rice. I was like, you did it. You did it. I'm proud of you. I loved it. High fives to everyone. Best Bond ever.
Yeah. It was. It is. Oh, I'm going to have to cut you off there, Cody. The watch buzzed.
Sure did, or whatever.
My watch. It went bzz, bzz.
Oh, you did a little bzz, bzz.
Went bzz, bzz. So what? Are we just do it? Do I just need to jump right into mine?
You got to hop in, because I got a lot to say still.
Okay, all right. I'm hopping in, okay? Here's the thing, Cody. Let's go through the timeline here. I was trying to write it out. I couldn't write it out. I was too enthralled with your thing. But okay. We start at a casino. Then we end up in a mob boss place. And then we end up in Spain at some point. Then we're in mountains. Then we're in more mountains. Then we're at a ski resort. Different mountains. Same mountains. Different mountain. Then they're skiing. But they're also in Holland or something. We were unclear because it's not sure. We're not sure. But he breaks into a place. A dude lifts a thing with a crank. They're everywhere, Cody. It's constant. It's nonstop action. It's what the people need today with the short attention spans and the ADH right? Here's the thing, Cody. Lazenby, he's a plastic man. He's a plastic man, but no plastic surgery. He just got cheekbones for days. That's what he's got, cheekbones for days. His name's George Lazenby. The dude, the black man in the yellow suit that didn't talk but kept fighting him, obvious and poor attempt to remake Odd Job. Odd Job was a once in a lifetime. He didn't do anything, and he will forever be remembered as one of the greatest characters of any Bond film ever. Why? Because he's an Asian dude that threw his hat and didn't do anything. Kind of like Boba Fett. There's no reason for him to be so cool, but he's cool. Here's the thing, Cody. £1 million worth of gold, weight-wise, is 21,280,000,000 US dollars. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, if I go for the pound sterling versus the US dollar. Right, so you're going £1 million sterling. So you got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's why I say every time I put in $1 million, because I'm a cool guy. That's 1,285,155. Massive difference. Roughly, if I had to guess, roughly $21,280,000,000 difference. So this is why this needs to be answered, and it needs to be answered now. Okay, here's the thing. They go through, there's like an hour of movie before they get to this place with the allergens. There's the centerfold, as you mentioned. There's the safe cracking machine that just makes a copy of everything. You ask the question, how do they know what to grab? And in that one, it's a valid question. In one of the safes you've asked it about, it was money and papers, and he grabbed the papers. And I was like, there was a decision between money and papers. And he was there for papers, so he grabbed the papers. This one, many papers. Why? Law office. That's where it was. But it was a foreign law office. But guess what? He's British. He's already a foreigner to us, Cody. Then there's a playboy, classy playboy, sitting out. And he's looking at that while he's cracking the thing. Anyway, how did that guy, he stuck the case straight up and down. It was clearly visible to all. Everybody knew what was going on. James Bond, what does he do? He puts it stealthily back in. Okay? So that, Cody, look at me. They're at the resort. That dude gets murked. Straight up killed. Right? But they're all there for allergens. Here's the thing. Somebody would be looking into this guy. This would be looked into for the sex trafficking ring so much. So many times. Everybody be like, there's something sketchy going on here. A bunch of supermodels going to live with this dude for what? Because they're allergic to lettuce? Why? Okay. And then he hypnotizes them. Are you going to stay after that first day, Cody? No, you're not. You're not going to stay after that first day. Or would you stay on that first day? No, we'll talk about that later. We're going to talk about that later, Cody. Also, what's up? German lady? The German lady, Cody. Cody? Look at me. You're not looking at me. The German lady. Was she German? I don't remember. But she was something. Oh boy. She was Madam something, and she was stern. She stirred up some feelings, Cody. Some dormant German feelings deep in my genes. I don't know how to feel about it. But her and Goober, oh, they were a team. And she was like, look, everybody's out here. Who's the best one? Odd Job? What's his face with the T? The big dude that was some wrestler guy, I think. Everybody's like, best villains. No. She's like the Terminator. Sorry. The time's up. But also, the scene from Wilder People popped into my head right when I said that. She's like, I'm like the Terminator. You're like Sarah Connor before she could do a pull-up.
There's so much, like, I have so many notes that make zero sense. But this movie's weird because, like you said, the first 30 or 40 minutes is about, like, this weird love story where Bond is, like, off with this Spanish woman who's a mob boss's daughter. And then he's out in, like, some bank in, like, I don't know, Holland or Switzerland or something, doing that for, like, half an hour. And then he's up in the Alps, probably, doing at this other thing. And literally...
He becomes a genealogist. We totally both glossed over that.
He becomes a genealogist. He's wearing like the full Scottish garb with the kilt and like the purse and everything. He's got everything on, pretending to be Scottish. And then
skin do.
And then he spends all this time working on these hot allergen ladies, you know. And he he goes into their bedrooms at night, and the German lady you talked about is just like not having any of it, you know. And he's going into their different bedrooms, and he's like, oh, I'll be back later. And then he's like, he uses the same line on, like, all of them, and then he never has sex with any of them. And then he gets caught. And, like, during all that kerfuffle, that was a whole, like, hour and 15 minutes of the movie, I entirely forgot about, like, his Spanish bride-to-be. I was like, oh, wait, there's, like, a whole love story for, like, the first hour of the movie that I completely forgot about.
It's, like, 7 different movies.
And then she comes and, like, helps save him for the last, like, 35-minute action scene. Like, she's there. It's crazy. Yeah. It's so good. There was not a single chop in this movie, and it made me furious.
Well, he's not the Bond that chops.
Okay. Whatever. Okay? he proposes to these women. Okay, there was some amazing action, all right? There is a penguin slide at one point. Don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, I noticed.
There's also a curling kill. Did you notice that? They're going through the Winter Wonderland, and I can't remember how it goes. I just remember I wrote the note about like someone's playing curling and he uses that to kill one of the dudes. But there is.
Wait, does he kill him with the big stone, or does it? What?
I forget.
Why'd you bring it up then?
Because it had to be said. Penguin slide curling kill. But maybe the best kill in any James Bond movie happened in this one.
Was it the one where he falls into the snowblower?
Yeah! The snowblower. Okay, Bond jukes someone out so that they go into a snowblower. They get shredded in the snowblower, and you see a rainbow of red snow spitting out of the snow. I was like, this is fantastic. This is wonderful. I also have the note, I hate this movie. And I don't know what my breaking point was. Oh, actually, I do know what it was.
What was it?
It was, first off, the end of the movie, James Bond getting married. Second off, his wife getting murdered 5 minutes later as they drive away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He snaps. Like, this movie more than any other movie gives credence to me to the fact that James Bond is, like, even in the books, like, it's different guys, and James Bond is just the code name for the 007 agent. Because at the end of the one before this, Sean Connery goes nuts, and he's like, I'm going to go AWOL and hunt down Blofeld. And that's how it starts the next one. Teaser for the next movie. After this.
Well,
and this guy snaps.
I was thinking about this one, too. Is this the one where, like, he's like, you're off this case, go on vacation. And then he's on vacation, that's where he find the mobster's daughter. Is that this one? There's one he's like, take some time off, whatever. He goes on leave, then he's like, I quit. I don't quit, whatever. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I resign. And then Moneypenny just does a like leave request instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
They introduce him. This movie is where they like started going hard on the calling him Commander Bond. Mm-hmm. Which I am amazed that you didn't say anything about already. Because I thought you were going to be like, what is he commander of? What are you talking about? And I was going to be like, you're so
being
dumb.
Confused about that.
It's his rank. He's a Navyman. He's a seaman.
He sure is. There was a racist statue in this one, too.
Yeah.
One of those, like, overly black statue of a black person where you're like, ooh, that sounded a good look. They have one of those in this one? I mean, it's in almost every movie, but I just had to point out it's in this one. Also, when what's her name?
Wasn't one of those racist statues, though, just a person? Didn't you be like, racist statue? And it was just a person, like one of those.
It could
at one of those fancy parties where it's like a person that stands there like a statue holding like a bowl of fruit.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me, actually. Spanish girl, she's quite the person. Like, she pulls a gun on James Bond, then James Bond like grabs her hand to pull the gun, and she's like, "You're hurting me," and it's like, well, you threatened his life. He's allowed to grab your hand away. Like, I don't understand. She's the whole thing. They get married, okay? They're married. Although, does it count? No, because they do not consummate the relationship because she dies 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
If you have sex before a marriage, does that count as consummating the marriage, or do you have to, it has to be after? Like, if you have sex and then you get married to that person, is your marriage already consummated?
We're going to have to call a lawyer about this one.
If you've consummated a marriage, tweet me at Opinion Havers.
All right, I'll tweet you real quick.
I need to stop.
Oh! I hit the mic.
No.
I'm so sorry, audio listeners as opposed to video watchers.
Yeah, you video watchers, you guys are safe. You guys are nestled in there. Yeah. You're just living.
You're fine. It didn't hurt just as bad.
There's a lot of jump scares in this movie too. A lot of just like the German lady being like blah, like being there, all the time.
Yeah.
There were quite a few of those.
You were talking about when he was like being all smooth going in there, and then he like crawled up on the bed, and it was the German lady. And what does he say to her? I cannot imagine you didn't write it down. So what is
One of the scariest things I've ever seen. We just did like our spooky boys, like all the scary movies for October.
Yeah.
That was scarier than anything we saw that whole month.
Because I think I don't remember what he's like, fancy meeting you here, and then he gets knocked out.
Oh.
He's like,
my
Helga,
goodness.
or whatever her name is, fancy meeting you here. Well, bam! And then he gets lamped. Oh.
Tyler, I don't know how much more you have to talk about, but if you want to play our game, I have many notes. I need you to explain.
I thought we were already playing the game, honestly.
All right. Here's one. Too many papas.
I remember them saying Papa a lot. I'm trying to remember when it happened.
Okay. Was that it? They just kept saying Papa, Papa, Papa?
Yeah. Like they were calling, I think, a bunch of different people Papa. Like it was a name of all the people.
Okay, this is a good one. Even the horses want some.
Oh, because they did it in a stable, because they got stuck in a snowstorm and they drove into a stable that they broke into, and the horses were like, yeah.
Oh yeah, they were all
when
excited.
They panned up tastefully, because that was the one they were on 2 separate beds, 2 separate levels.
Yeah,
and he broke the leg, so she spun down on him.
Oh yeah, that was the classic. He was like, we can't have, he's like, no hanky panky, and then he breaks the bed, so she falls onto. Yeah, that was good. That was pretty smooth. He
is so much smoother than Sean Connery.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job with his lines and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one. What she needs is a man to dominate her.
That's what her dad said when he was like...
Oh, that's what the dad who's like about to give his daughter away as part of like a mob deal.
No, he's like, calls him in, and Bond is like, oh, I need information on this. He's like, I will give it to you. And $1 million, or £1 million of gold. Questionable on what that means. If you will marry my daughter, she needs a man to dominate her.
If someone offered you $1 million of anything, like you can make a pretty good profit, right?
Yeah.
Almost anything $1 million of, like you could sell it, right?
Yeah, some of you out here, you're saying, what about dirt? You know how much $1 million of dirt would fetch on the open market?
How much?
More than $1 million.
More than $1 million. That's a good point.
I'll look it up. I'll look up how much does $1 million of dirt cost.
Please do. I got something to say, and it is this. I want a James Bond movie. Here's the thing. He's always going all these places where he's dressed all snazzy and classy. Always in a suit. Always in a tux. Always in something. Always dressed up. I want him to have to do a movie where he has to go to, like, Compton for some reason. And he's, like, walking around in a suit there, and everyone's like, you don't belong here, and you're gonna die. That's what I want. Or, so the question is, 1, do they put him in the tux when he goes to Compton? Or 2, do they put him in just, like, a tasteless, like, gangster, like, stereotypical dress? That's my question. He never really goes undercover. He goes undercover at ritzy places where it's like, oh, you're just a rich person.
Yeah. I think he'd wear a suit still in Compton.
He would dress like a pimp. That's what you're dressed like a 70s pimp. That's what they do.
The purple suit and the big old feather?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have an answer for me?
Look, I'm deep in it at this point, Cody.
No.
It's all in cubic yards. I'm trying to find how much a cubic yard weighs on average.
Mm-hmm.
But it's... So in some areas of the U.S., topsoil sells for about $12 to $18 a cubic yard.
Yeah.
With a delivery charge of $15 to $60, depending on amount and distance.
Oh, wow.
For a cost of $75 to $150 for 5 yards. Delivered. However, some places is $20 to $30, and delivery charges of $50 to $200.
Oh, wow. That seems like the real money is in delivering the dirt.
Are we talking about $1 million in bags? Or $1 million pounds in bags?
$1 million of loose dirt is that the other option?
Okay, we'll go in bags. Okay, this will make it a lot easier. I thought you were going to make it difficult on me here.
I would never.
Okay. So continue. I will continue down the bad
All right.
route.
Here's a fun fact for you. So the man who plays, I believe, the main villain, the main allergist, I'm pretty sure, he is a film actor. His name is Telly Savalas. Well, you'll never guess it, but he has a one-hit wonder.
What?
The Bond villain in this movie has a single called "If." That was a one-hit wonder. So if you want to hear the Bond villain sing a sweet tune, Telly Savalas, "If." In fact, I was looking him up, and on his Wikipedia page, it's like, early life, career, personal life, that kind of stuff. It has all those headers sections. One of his sections is going bald and continued success.
What?
You can go to Wikipedia, Telly Savalas, you can look it up. Going bald and continued success, all about it.
Okay.
Okay, the clock is ticking. You're running out of time to get
I'm there. I'm literally doing the math at this moment.
All right, do the math.
I'm doing the math.
There was a fire here somewhere in the movie where like the logs were right next to the fire, and they were just begging for disaster. You can't put logs right next to a fire.
I have an answer for you.
All right.
Okay, so on Amazon you can order a 40-pound bag of dirt for $61.
Okay.
That equates to 1 million pounds of dirt in those bags.
Okay.
1,531,000.
It's a pretty good deal.
So someone offers you 1 million pounds of dirt. Ask them, is it bagged dirt? Or do I need to bag it myself? Because if it's not bagged, you might not get $1 million for it. I take it back because you might have to, you got to go out. You got to rent a bobcat and a dump truck. Who's going to want the 1 million pounds of dirt? Probably just a construction site, and they're going to pay you like $25,000 for it, which is still not bad. But that's not going to cover the bobcat and the dump truck.
No, it's not. Blow your margins on that equipment.
You're going to make at most a 3% profit on this if it's unbagged dirt. That's still bad money, though. Still $30,000.
It's still something.
But I don't think you're going to make that much profit. But maybe. You
play
your cards right, you can. You play your cards right, kid, you can make that 3% profit on that dirt. Yeah, they put all the logs up next to the fire. In the villa, the ski resort turned into an allergy research center on top of a mountain. The dude cut his earlobes off to claim a title?
Yeah, because the line he wanted to be on, he wanted to be like a duke or a lord or whatever of whatever line, and those people had separated earlobes, so he like cut his earlobes so that they would be separated, so he could.
No, they don't have earlobes, so he cut them off.
Don't have earlobes at all?
Yeah.
So he snipped them?
Yeah, so he just snipped them right on off. I like our long pauses.
Also, at the end of this movie, the mob bot, like James Bond, because he had resigned or was on leave or whatever, so he couldn't get help from the British people.
Oh no, they just wouldn't.
They wouldn't do it
because he got the virus.
What I'm saying is they wouldn't do it. So he goes to the mob boss, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll help."
Another thing we totally glossed over is the super virus that he gives to all the hot chicks to take home with him.
He hypnotizes the women so that they will take the super virus and go to their homelands and disperse it and destroy the world. And he's going to hold the world for ransom. That seems to be a theme, right?
Do you remember what the virus did?
What was it?
It makes everybody sterile.
Oh!
100%
so that humanity
sterile.
will die within the next
generation
because no one can have babies.
Yeah. What a crappy way to kill the world, man.
It's like, hey, if you don't meet my demands and, like, you want to have any more babies, then we'll slowly dwindle as a pot. I mean, you're not actively threatening anyone who's alive, so it's, like, the least threatening threat. I know it's, like, humanity, but at the same time, like, you're not going to kill anyone. You're just going to prevent people from being born?
Yeah.
What a scheme. What an idea.
Yeah, I guess so. The only way you could have a baby is to go to a sperm bank, which would lessen the genetic You sure? Yeah.
Wait, but is it just the men who are sterile or the women sterile too? Is everybody infertile?
Well, I don't know, because you already got all the babies or all the eggs with the girls. So I don't. Can you make a girl?
I mean, they're women that
sterile?
can't get pregnant, right? They're women
Well,
that
I think
can't have
that's something
babies.
wrong from the beginning. I don't think you become that.
Tyler, you're an expert on fertility.
I know.
How about you explain to me the intricacies of the
Here's the
female
thing.
reproductive system?
Here's what you need to know. Every girl was inside of her grandma at one point, because girls are born with all their eggs. This is how babies are made. Kids.
Inside their grandma or inside their mom?
Everybody was inside their mom.
I understand.
But your mom.
Why would you? Okay, you're
So-
saying your grandma has the egg that would become her granddaughter?
Yeah, because they have the mom. They have their. So you have a girl and you have her mom. When her mom was a baby, inside the grandma, she had all the eggs. You weren't inside your grandpa. You're not gonna have the same
You
sperm
were
tomorrow.
inside your grandma. Well, that's all the time we've got.
Here's the thing, Cody. You make all your stuff every day. The girls, they don't. They got them. They got them.
Thanks for listening. Oh, we're gonna be bringing more Bond episodes to you every week. It's never gonna stop until it does. Good job. If you want to rate, review, or share us, where can they do that, Tyler?
They can watch us on YouTube, listen to us on the Google Play, on the iTunes, on the podcast services, all over the galaxy.
Also, if you want to communicate with us, you can tweet me at Opinion Havers. Do that. Recommend movies to us. Movies that are attainable. Please. Thank you.
One day, Cody, I will get Doctor Who, the movie. If
I've
you
talked,
have Doctor Who,
I've
the
talked
movie,
to Doctor Who fans and been like, yeah, we were supposed to do the Doctor Who movie for our podcast. I'm like, what Doctor Who movie? Like, most of them have no idea what it even
it's
is.
difficult to get. I've ordered it, and then they say it's shipped, and it just never ships.
It doesn't, though.
I'll get it one day.
Maybe.
Through the power of Disney Plus, when they buy the BBC,
BBC.
when they buy all of the UK, and thus the BBC, and they just turn it into a giant Disney World,
Giant amusement park.
then I will get it on Disney Plus.
Oh, but until then, have opinions.
And watch movies. That's the wrong order.
I know. I haven't thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this wrong this time. I made you happy.
I'm not disappointed. I'm angry. I'm angry with you.